We're going to start in a position like so, with your legs up on a chair. You can have a blanket or a pillow underneath your head, but just be aware that you need the neck to be open. So if I make this support too high, you can see that the neck, well, maybe you can't see, but you might be able to hear my voice changes because the neck becomes closed. So I want the support to be low enough that the neck can be open, the head can be supported. You can actually put a little washcloth underneath the neck and just to even fill up that space. But it's lovely to have that neck open for your breath. So I'm going to let people in and I'm going to mute everybody except for me. So welcome back, or I guess welcome back to me if you've been coming regularly. And I'm very grateful that you've joined me. So let's start in this position. Legs on the chair, neck supported, collarbones open. So widen those arms out and let the arms rest on the ground. And then take a deep inhale. And a long exhale. And let yourself just settle here for a few moments. Today's class is we're going to go through the whole body. We're going to move through the whole body and get some good mobility throughout the body. But we are going to stabilize the body by focusing on transitions. I think transitioning is a worldwide theme, or if not, especially a North American theme, especially a Washington, D.C. theme. And so we are going to be working on our own transitions and noticing the stability and balance that is needed for transitioning, but also the willingness to let go of some things and open yourself up to new things. So in this position, with your legs on the chair, your body completely supported, I invite you now to take a scan through your body and feel what is there today. What have you brought? The nice thing about being in this position is you can really use the feedback of your supports to let you deepen your awareness of what is in your body today. So you may feel a little bit more connection on the left side of the rib cage, for example, into the ground, which may indicate that the rib cage might even be twisted over towards the left. What about the pelvis? Can you feel more of the top of the pelvis versus the tailbone? So perhaps the pelvis is tilted posteriorly and your low back has been flattened out. Notice the thighs and how your legs rest on your support. You may notice more of the outside of the right calf, for example. So as a result, perhaps that right leg is a little bit more relaxed than the left. Scan through and notice where you're at. It's just all part of the journey right now, all part of what you've brought. And then start to think about what you would like to let go of. So what no longer needs to be there? Maybe the rotated rib cage or the tension in the neck. Feeling into the breath. Notice the way the breath rises and falls. Where in your body does your breath expand? Where in your body do you tend to let go from? Perhaps this could be a resource for you. And then notice the transition between inhale and exhale, between exhale and inhale. The quality of that transition. And then from here, with that rhythm of breath, on your exhale, let your head turn to one side. Inhale the head back up center. Exhale the head over to the other side. Inhale left and right, transitioning the head from that center position to a rotated position. As the breath changes direction, change the direction of the movement, not the other way around. So let the breath guide the movement. Pausing when the breath pauses. Moving when the breath moves. And then balancing it out left and right. Bring the head back center. Let it rest in the center. And inhale one arm over your head to the floor above you. Exhale that arm back down by your hip. Inhale the other side. Exhale back down. So feeling left and right, we're opening up not just the shoulder, but also into the lungs. So can you feel the breath move from the left side to the right side? Opening up on that one side. Exhale that arm down by your hip. Starting to pay attention to the rib cage, the bottom of the rib cage, and the pelvis. So as you move the arm, does the pelvis move? Can you keep that pelvis very still as you move through the arm? And then moving to two arms. Inhale up. Exhale back down. We're taking that movement and filling the lungs up. Start to pay attention to the tailbone, the pelvis. Does it want to move? So when we open the lungs this way and the arms this way, we're lengthening our lats. The lats travel down that low back, connect to the fascia into the low back. So does it pull on your low back as you open? Try and keep that pelvis still. One more. And then let those arms rest down by your side, moving down into the hips now. Let's just warm up those legs. So you're going to exhale the leg up to the sky. You can pull the toes down if you'd like, and then inhale and release the leg down into the chair. Exhale, straighten the knee. Inhale and release. Alternating left and right. Exhale as you take that leg up. And if you're starting to feel a little too much of a stretch down the back of the legs, or maybe you just want to experiment, try it with the toe pointed. So that will take the sciatic nerve out of the equation and just keep it into the fascia, into the hamstrings, the back of the leg, down to the calf. Well, not so much the calf, isn't anymore. But can you keep the pelvis still? Do you flatten your back when you take that leg up? You should feel the front of the thigh working into the quads, strengthening the front of the thigh. Draw that kneecap down. And then hold that leg up this time. Exhale, hold that leg, and then rotate through the foot. Now, can you maintain that position into the pelvis? Does the pelvis tilt over to one side? Try and keep equal weight on the left and the right side of the pelvis. So from here, rotate the foot the other way if you haven't done so already. And then bring that leg down over to the other side, being aware of your core here. Are you keeping that pelvis still? So that other leg comes up, we rotate through the foot. Keep drawing the kneecap down the front of the thigh so that you feel the activation in the front of the quad. That will release the hamstring on the back a little bit more and also strengthen your knee. And then once you've balanced it off left and right, we're going to bring the right ankle to the left knee. Now, as you do so, I want you to focus in on the pelvis. So do you tilt the pelvis up so that my left hip comes up to my left rib cage? No, we don't want to do that. We want to keep that waist neutral. So readjust the pelvis so that the waist is equal on the left and the right side. The pelvis is flat, as if you could balance a glass of wine on that pelvis. And the knee just releases open. So we're relaxing the buttocks in a lengthened position, just allowing it to start to open up. From here, inhale, bring that knee towards the midline. Exhale, rotate that leg out. But as you do so, keep the rib cage, the pelvis still. Focus on the neutral torso, opening up into the hip specifically. And once more. And then over to the other side. So allow that left ankle to go to the right knee, and then just let that knee drop open. Pay attention to the torso. Notice whether or not the pelvis is tilted or you've lifted up into the waist. So can you readjust to get the waist equal on the left and the right side? I realize when I teach that I talk with my hands, which is not part of the pose. So you don't have to do all this hand gesturing that I'm doing. Inhale your knee towards the midline. Exhale that leg out. You can use your hand if you want, but the torso stays still the whole time. So with or without the talking with my hands. And one more time, noticing how this leg may be different than the other, and then placing both legs back on the chair. We're going to move to using our strap now. So we're going to come off the chair. You can shift your body. I'm just going to move the chair a little bit out of the way, but basically stay in the same position, because hopefully that was a good position for you. You're going to take the strap around the foot, and we're going to take that leg up towards the sky. Now, buckles to me always make too much noise, so I always hold them in my hand. You can use a housecoat tie. You can use an old pair of nylons that nobody wears anymore. There's even a bath towel will work if you don't have a strap. So with this, we're going to take the right leg up. I want that foot relaxed. The strap is around the foot so that it feels like it's going to stay on there. And the left leg is reaching along the ground. What that's doing is it's helping keeping the pelvis square so that your pelvis doesn't tilt. If you start to feel the pelvis move, reach that left leg a little bit more. From here, you're going to bring that leg in slightly and out. So you can either exhale the leg in or inhale the leg in, but I want you to move with your breath. You decide what direction of breath works for you, but move with the speed of your breath. And notice whether or not you are starting to breathe like a rabbit super fast because you're moving fast, or are you going very slow and forcing that breath to be very controlled. I'd like you to release any control on the breath. Let the breath guide the movement versus the movement guiding the breath. Hold that leg in. From here, let's pull that toe down and then point the toe. So when you find that range that you're using right now, is it one that you can keep that knee straight? If not, perhaps that leg's too close to you and move it away a little bit. And as you point and flex through the foot, we're doing something called nerve flossing. So we're relaxing that sciatic nerve, and we're also inviting the fascia down the back of the leg and into the foot to warm up and then relax. So we want to feel the connection between the fascia throughout the body. And as we do so, hopefully you're starting to feel that that nerve and that stretch feeling is starting to dissipate. It's starting to fade because you have relaxed that area. So you've taken the tension out around the muscles. Now hold that toe in. I'd like you to visualize that you have something resting on the bottom of your foot. You're going to bring that leg across your body and then hold that foot level with the ceiling. Take it out to the side. So we're going to move across and out. This time I'm going to allow you permission to take a few breaths as you do this movement. So exploring the connection between the inner thigh and the IT band, the outer thigh, and the connection all the way down into the foot. You're going to feel that a little bit more if you add in the ankle connection. Shoulders are relaxed. Try and get the shoulders out of the ears. And then hold that across your body. So now I'm pushing through my big toe, trying to get that foot as level as I can to the ceiling. Is your knee bending? Can you straighten that out? So just think about pressing through your heel. Get a little bit more length into the back of the leg and into that IT band. From here, bring your leg back center. I invite you now to rotate that foot, and we can now move to a relaxed foot, but rotate the thigh in the hip socket, and so the foot is rotating against the ceiling. Creating space deep inside the hip socket. And then from here, draw that right foot to your left shoulder. So I'm using the strap to pull that leg towards the left shoulder. Let's just take a few breaths here. Reach your left foot along the ground like you're trying to push something away with your heel. Hold that leg in nice and tight, nice and close. Again, we're relaxing the muscles in a lengthened position. This is upside down pigeon, but because you don't have your body weight on the leg, it's a little easier to get rid of the tension inside and go a little bit deeper. It's also a little bit happier for the knee. So this is good for people who have angry knees. From here, we're going to switch over to the other leg, but I'd like you to focus on the transition. So take that leg down and out, reach the right leg along the floor, and then notice the difference between the left and the right side of the body. So what I'm noticing in my body is I feel like a banana bent to the left. So I'm going to lift my head up. I'm going to straighten myself out. I'm going to check in with my pelvis left and right, my rib cage left and right. Are there any adjustments that need to be made to center myself? But I also want to notice the transition is how is my body changed on the right side versus the left? Where in the journey are you on? Let's now take the strap around that left leg and repeat everything on the other side. So remember that foot stays relaxed to begin. take the work out of the shoulders. The shoulders are not needed to be involved here. I do have the biceps working. With that foot relaxed, I'm exhaling that leg in, inhaling away, or perhaps you're doing it the other direction. That's fine too. I think about reaching the right leg along the floor in order to square the pelvis. As you bring that leg towards you, keep the back of the knee long and the low back neutral. So if you've brought the leg in too far, your low back might flatten on the ground and that left knee might bend. So where is your edge right now where you can work on the mobility inside the hip without changing those other joints? And then hold that leg in as far as where is that range for you, where you can keep the integrity of the pose. Pull the toes down and then point. Make the adjustments in the rest of the body. Shoulders, neck. Starting to feel that stretch fade in the back of the leg as you relax the nerve and as you relax the tension in that area of the body. And then we're going to hold that toes down. Press that big toe as you take the leg across the body. Press the little toe as you take it out to the side, only going as far to the side as you can keep the pelvis on the right side of the body still square. So if you lift up on that side, you've gone too far. Bring it back. The knee stays long. And once more. Now holding that position, press through that big toe, get the length down the outside of the leg. Often in my body, I know I can feel the release happening because I get a spontaneous big inhale and a long sigh. So notice when those types of things happen for you. When do you feel this release happening in your body? That's your clue as to when you know you're starting to get that opening. Maybe that's when you change positions. All right, left ankle to right knee. Pulling that strap in, lengthening into the outside of the left hip, into that upside down pigeon pose. Reaching through the right leg, squaring the pelvis, low back is neutral. Long exhale. And then we're ready for the transition. So taking the strap off, take that leg out, reach it all the way down beside the right, and then pay attention throughout the body. What has now happened? So making the adjustments to make yourself maybe a bit more square, bending both knees, lift your hips up and reach your hips towards your tailbone. Still keeping the neck open. I don't have much of a support underneath my head, but if you have a lot of support and that neck starts to close, then you need to take that out. Now, very slowly, one breath at a time, one vertebrae at a time, lower the spine down to the ground. Rolling through the low back, and then let the low back lift up into a neutral spine. Once you're there, keep that neutral spine, draw the knees into the chest, but try and keep that neutral spine. So I can flatten the back and round it out, but let's just keep it inside the hips. And then rolling over onto your side and pressing yourself up. We're going to come up into a kneeling position. You're going to use that chair. So I'm going to come around and get myself all untangled. Okay. I'm not sure why I didn't bring my mic belt today, but that's probably because I forgot. You're going to bring your hands on the chair, forearms on the chair. From here, drop your spine through, let your body come through your shoulder blades, and then exhale and round through your back. Inhale and drop down, exhale and round through your back. So we're just starting here with the focus just on the spine, taking the weight off of the hands and the shoulders. Feel your shoulder blades separate as you come up into that angry cat position. And then from here, I'm just going to shift my knees back slightly so I've got a bit more room, or you can push your chair forward. And then you're going to reach your hands forward as you reach your tailbone back. So try and get length into the spine as if you're pulling the tailbone away from the fingertips, opening up into the shoulders, opening up through the vertebrae. Your head can rest on the chair or it can be off the chair. From here, coming back up, you're going to bring your hands together. Your elbows are on the chair. Now you can open up those elbows a little bit wider. So they're about shoulder width apart. From here, drop your hips back like we did in that last pose, but now bring those hands towards your back as well. So lengthening through the shoulders differently. There's a different angle to the humerus in the arms. And we're involving the triceps at this point as well. The lungs are very open in this position. So let's take the opportunity to lengthen them even more by inhaling deep into the rib cage. Feel the sides of the rib cage open. Exhale and try and reach your tailbone just that little bit more. From here, release the hands, coming slowly, transitioning up, pushing through your hands. Let's round the back, pressing down into the hands. And then coming back up, we're going to now take the chair a little bit off to the side, off to the left, so that I can bring the right leg forward. So from here, we're going to inhale and come forward, exhale and reach the sit bones back. So with the strap, we were able to get into the hamstring and into the back of the body. With the chair and in this position, we're able to also open up into the hip flexors. Now, I'm not going to make a generalization, but I am going to say that there's a lot of people who've been doing a lot more sitting lately. I know I have because I'm working virtually and I don't get to walk around and see my lovely members, except for today. And so we need to open those hip flexors. So let's lengthen through the hamstring. They should feel as we reach back, it's like, oh yeah, they're starting to get deeper and deeper and deeper. But as you come forward, feel that hip coming down towards that heel on that front side. Can you coax that hip flexor back into a neutral position, back into an open position? And let's hold it this time. So reach your hips back, lengthen through the hip on that right side, but then also try and flatten the back out as well. So reach the hands forward, try and bring the shoulder blades down the back and feel the whole back of the body lengthen. This is actually a great pose for people with scoliosis because these asymmetrical poses lengthen all the way up through that fascia line. You can, if you've got a functional scoliosis or you've got something that's structural, this can help balance that out and release some of that. And then you're going to come forward into your hip flexor. You're going to open up at the front of the body as you reach that left hip down towards your right foot, or you can think about reaching the left hip towards the chair on that side. Now use the chair. There's a reason why it's here. Put your right hand on the chair and then reach the left hand up to the sky to get a little bit more length through the whole anterior front line. From here, reach the body over to the left. Right, the other left. Reach it to the right. So it's coming across your body and we can feel that length into, I'm just going to turn my chair a bit so you can see, into the quadratus lumborum, into the side of that body here. This is another muscle that loves to get tight when we do a lot of sitting. Now the head itself can look down towards the right. Can be center if you'd like. And then inhale that hand and body up. Exhale and come back halfway. From here, I'm going to move that leg out to the right. So point that knee outwards and then come forward. We're coming down into a pose called lizard. You can bring your hands can stay on the chair. They can come down to the ground. You can bring your shoulders down at this point. From here, you're going to turn the body towards the right leg. So I rotate myself around. Now, some people will find that even just a little bit of a movement is just fine. Some people can go a little bit deeper. See where you are, what happens for you. Can you rotate yourself right around towards the right? Can you drop your left hip down towards the ground a little bit and get that lateral line on the outside of the left hip and into the waist? You can let the knee drop open on the right side and that big toe lifts up on the right side. So we're in a side lizard or dragon pose. Bring that right hand back around, coming back center. You can walk that right foot back in line and come halfway. Bring that leg around, and we're going to transition into child's pose. You can do it with your hands on the chair if you want, or you can come down into the ground. Now, as you come into this position, before we transition over to the other side, take a moment to feel the difference between the left and the right side. Where's the opening happening? Where's the energy in the body? And how are you breathing? Coming up, we're going to move over to the other side. I'm going to stay facing this way just so that you can see from a different perspective. And so the chair goes a little bit to the right. So my left foot comes forward. Now I start to move with my breath, inhaling forward, exhale, reach the hip back. Opening up through the front of the hip into the front of the waist, the chest. So as you come forward, let the shoulders come down. Exhale, reach your sit bones back. That back foot can be tucked under or it can be pointed. I'm one of those people that's prone to foot cramps. Too many years as a ballerina, I think, or just that I have a high arch. And so I tend to always tuck it under, but whatever works for you. That one is, that's where your focus should be. Shoulder blades coming down as you come forward. Can you feel that right hip opening up with each pass forward and back? And then one more time. Let's hold it that next time. So now reach those sit bones back. Focus in on the sit bones going back, the shoulders coming down, the back flattening, lengthening through that whole posterior line. In this pose, the knee is bent. When we were on our back, we had the knee straight. This time, the knee is bent. The focus is into the hip. And then coming forward, opening up into that hip flexor. Feel that right hip coming down towards either the chair or your left foot. From here, let's take the right hand up. The other hand is there for support. Reach that hand upwards and then lean the upper body towards the left. Again, I'm going to shift my positioning to give you a different view. I'm not sure what that view is going to be. I don't know. Is that better? Well, you can't tell me anyway because you're too far away from your computer. And then coming back center. Are you ready? Here we go. Let's turn that left foot out. From here, you're going to turn towards that left knee. Let the leg drop open. I'm going to, in this position, I know I'm going to change my position. So let yourself either use the chair or the floor to drop open into that side. Take a deep breath in. Long exhale. Transitioning back slowly. Bring your weight back center onto your hands. Walk that leg in. Shifting your body back center. Bring that leg around. Reach your back all the way towards your heels. Feel the difference between the left and the right side and when we were last in this pose. We're going to be transitioning up to stand. So starting in a kneeling position, take a deep breath in. Exhale, tuck the toes under, press back onto the feet. Just stay in this position here. I'm going to move your mat out of the way. Now, from here, very slowly, hands in front. Can we do it? Slowly rising up to stand. How'd that go? Some people are, there, I got some, yep. Okay, people are standing, that's a good sign. We're going to still use that chair. I'd like you to have the chair at one side. Let's take it so we can use the seat part of it. You're going to stand in the center of your mat. So from here, let's take if you've got the chair on the left side of you, you are going to lift your right leg up, rotate that leg open, bend the left leg, and then place that foot down. Oh, that was tricky. Okay. Ready? From here, turn the left leg open. Bend both legs. Yes. Transition over to the left. So I turn now my left leg In, no, that's your right leg. Right leg in, my left leg is facing the chair. From here, you're going to tilt at the top of the thighs. Be very aware of the whole process of transitioning into the pose. I reach towards that chair, which is, of course, slightly too far away. I rotate the top shoulder open and reach through the crown of the head. Now, I want you to focus throughout the body. What are the feet doing? Can you lift up through the arches of the feet, press down with your big toe, get some connection to the ground, and lift up through the hamstring of this front leg, long through the torso. Really tuck deep inside that hip and rotated through the upper back. So a triangle pose is a twist. You want the pelvis to be, the SI joint to be in line with your lumbar spine. So I really want to focus on the pelvis coming around and down, and then the chest coming up and around. Of course, there's many different styles of yoga. You might have been taught a different way. You're in the privacy of your own home and or boardroom, and you're in charge of your own body. So feel the pose. Where is the right position for your back? We're using that length in our hamstring that we've already got. From here, you're going to bring your right hand down to your left and then inhale it up, exhale it back down. Moving through that upper body rotation. Keep the pelvis square and still. And one more. Are you still connected? Your feet, your arches. Reach that arm over your head. Bend that front knee. Now reach your right pelvis towards that left foot. And I need to widen my stance. So I'm going to make that transition there. Get that length through your fingertips all the way back to that back leg. Now bring that arm back around you. Are you ready for it? Suzette's favorite pose. Hand in the center of the chair. Transition to the back foot, light all the weight on the left foot. Now lift that right foot up towards the sky. Keep lifting it. Keep your chest open to the center. Hold. How much height can you get in that back leg? Use the length in the hamstring. Keep letting that leg fly upwards. And then bend that back knee, that right knee. If it's there, you can grab it. It's not really, you don't get extra bonus points for grabbing the foot. Head still faces down. Now, bring that that right arm around to the left. Both hands are on the chair. For me, I've got the elbows in the chair. Now I'm going to come up halfway and start squaring that pelvis. Transition into a warrior 3 position with the legs. Square that pelvis. Keep lifting up with that left hip. Drop the right hip. Reach the heel back towards the back wall. And then pull that right knee towards the chair. Bring the right ankle to the left knee and sit down. If it's there for you, bring your hands up together. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, place your hands back down on the chair, right foot by left foot. Lifting yourself back up into a standing position. Fix your hair, very important part, and feel the difference between the right and the left foot. Okay, you ready for the other side? No? Yes? No? Yes? Yes, I think you're ready. Well, I can see a little bit of work going on there on the screen. We are ready for the other side. So you may not be the most perfect spot from that chair. That's okay. That's the transitioning that we're focusing on. It's the adjustments we've got to make along the way. All right, from center, and lift up that left leg. The chair is on the right. Take that leg out to the side, placing it down, rotating it out. Rotate the other side. Drop down into a plie. And here we go. Rotate that left side in as you point the right side to the chair. Do you need a bigger stance? Yeah, because I took a pretty easy step out. With that leg in that pointed to the right chair position, the right hand goes on the chair. I start to focus on the transition into the pose. So think about from your feet, lift up through your arches, press down with your big toes, come up from the ground, lengthen through the hamstrings, pelvis coming down on the left side, lengthening through the waist. Use the chair to help give you focus to lengthen through your spine. So starting to feel the rotation through the upper back, down through the lower back so that your sacrum is in line with your lumbar spine. And then from this position, inhaling that hand up, exhaling the hand down. Trying to get some rotation through that upper back as you stabilize through the lower back. Use the chair. And once more. Now bend that front knee, reach the hand over your head, get length through the whole left side of the body, reaching from your fingertip. Think about that hip. So rather than having it up, reach it down towards the ground. So you've got that long line. Now hand comes behind you. I shift my body weight, transitioning over the weight onto my right side. When I'm ready, I start to let that leg fly as my upper body comes down towards the chair. Keep letting that leg fly. How high can you activate into the buttocks on that left side? And get length into the hamstring on the left, into that half moon position. Chest open, head facing down. From here, bending the knee on the lifted leg. Can I grab it? Nope. Straightening that leg. Let's start to bring yourself around, transitioning into warrior 3. So left hand on the chair, keep rotating that pelvis, flatten the back, reach through the crown of the head, the heel, buttocks, very active on that left side. Keep rotating that pelvis until you are flat and square. Hold that position. Now, bending that knee, bring that leg around. So the left ankle comes to the right knee. Hips come down to the ground into that sitting position. And then you bring your hands together if it's there for you. Coming up slowly, reaching through the crown of the head. And exhale, the shoulders down. How'd that go? Good. I think I saw a thumbs up. Excellent. All right. We are coming down onto the ground now. We are going to transition down to the ground. How are you going to do that? So do it consciously. Coming onto the ground. It's amazing how fast time flies. We are going to come back to legs on the chair, right ankle to left knee. And then from here, come back and see where things are at and how they've changed. Now slide the left leg towards you, only to the point where you start to feel that back flatten. Take it a little bit out, back in neutral, neck relaxed. And long exhale. So notice the difference between where we were standing and now that we're laying again, it's starting to bring it back down. What's that transition like? Where's the heart rate? Slide the leg out, switching to the other side. Draw in the right leg, stretching and lengthening out through the left leg, only to the point that you can keep that low back neutral. And then releasing it, this time grabbing the legs together. Now, this time I'm going to let you flatten your back on the ground. So you can grab the bottom of the feet. You can grab the ankles. You can grab behind the knees. You're going to draw those knees towards the shoulders, whichever way feels the most comfortable for you, stretching into the low back. I just had a Simone spotting. She peeked in the door. There are humans in this building. And then bring your feet together. Draw those ankles towards you, lengthening out through the inner thigh. Bring your feet down to the ground, arms out to the side. Drop your right knee towards your left knee. Legs are about mat width apart, so you're feeling the twist down the side of the body and into the waist. Hip open. Just a simple wide leg twist. Again, in any twist position like this, you're going to feel the right rib cage a little bit more open. So take advantage of that position. Take a deep breath in. Open up the rib cage a little bit more. Exhale. Soften around that twist. Over to the other side. Bring the left knee towards the right ankle. Opening up into the side of the body. Centering the spine or balancing the spine so that we can center it. Head could be, like I have this time, opposite direction as knees, or it can be facing the ceiling. Inhale those legs back up center. Notice the transition. Now you have an option here. You can pull the legs into the chest one more time and then place them on the chair, or you can pull the legs into the chest and then place them underneath the chair and lay flat. So feel which position is the right position for you. A little bit of support underneath the head. Palms can be open facing the ceiling, Or you could place them on the bottom of the rib cage and feel the breath rising and falling. So we are coming into our final relaxation position. If you could be 5% more comfortable, what would you do? Pay attention to the messages that are inside. Make those adjustments. So staying in that final relaxation position, letting your eyes either relax by closing or softening, moving from looking at something to really reflecting within. And then scanning through your body and feeling what's there now. Feel the structure of the body on the ground, the pelvis, the rib cage, the legs and the arms. Even the head. Where are you on your journey now? How are you transitioning? Now feel the breath moving in and out of you. How the breath expands your body on the inhale. Where are you open to receive that breath? And there's a lightness and ease into the breath. And then where do you let go from? Where does the exhale let go? Where's the undoing stemming from? Feel the transition between inhales and exhales and inhales. The peace and the stillness that is in that transition. A sense of resetting, of optimism, a rebirth, a renew. You are not alone. I'm right there with you. I've been here all along. Starting to come back to the room around you, transitioning, taking a deep breath in, feeling the space around you, maybe moving your arms and your legs, stretching and bending in the way that is right for you to transition over onto your side, and then up into a seated position. Bringing your hands before your heart, let your eyes rest downwards as you transition to a practice that is within, in our virtual community, to the world outside. And once again, knowing I'm right there with you. I've been here all along. Namaste.